Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at the 2002 Passat and the chronic issues with replacing the light bulbs in the vents. Now some of you have done this before and you know how big a pain in the ass it is to find the bulbs. Here's what one of the bulbs looks like. These bulbs, depending on where you go, can run you anywhere from $8. I've seen them as high as $19 at dealerships for Volkswagen. So what we're going to show today is a conversion to LED. What we're doing today is a 3mm white LED, 560 ohm resistor, and we're going to run that resistor on the longer of the two legs, the anode, trim them down to size, and we're going to keep the existing housings to use as a base so that they'll be able to plug right into the factory harness without much issue. So we'll take you through a couple things. We're going to take you through removing the dash assemblies that are the vents. If you've read up on these, you know they can be a pretty big pain in the ass. First and foremost, I want to thank PassatWorld.com. I'm not a member there, but I want to thank them for the useful information I found there and for not blocking their forums from having to be registered to view the information on their pages. So some Google searches and I was able to find some good information, and today I'm going to kind of summarize it because some of the threads on that forum are a bit old, and the people that put up the good information, while the information's still intact, the images they used were pretty much on shitty servers, or they didn't pay their bill, or they went on to a new provider, and the images for the how-tos are pretty much gone at this point. So we'll get this video up on YouTube, and if anybody happens to run across this video, by all means please feel free to link the video to any of those forums, including Passat World. So we'll go ahead and show you how these things are put together after the break. Okay, so we took the bulb, and you'll notice we cut quite a bit of the housing off. We broke the bad bulb off. You can still see the wires attached to these two barbs sticking out. So we left the top notch on it, which grabs into the housing, kind of clicks in there. We left that there so that we can still mount these into the existing housings. But I took the rest of the housing off here, and when I solder up these LEDs, you'll see how we attach those. We'll use some heat shrink on them, make sure they don't short out. Since that is a live circuit when your headlights are on. So anyway, that's pretty much how you trim it down. I used a serrated edge of this pocket knife and a small vise for the housing to hold on to, and just kind of worked on it until it came through and popped it off. So we'll show you LEDs assembled, and then we'll go ahead and do some heat shrink and get them mounted up. Alright, so we got our 4 LEDs made up because we're going to do the 2 in the center and the one on the driver and one on the passenger side today. So these are ready to go. We'll go ahead and heat shrink them and trim them to fit once we grab another blank bulb out. Make sure we get the distance set right. Alright, as you guys have probably read, these things are a pain in the ass to get out, so we're going to use a couple of butter knives, basically, spread knives. And so basically you just kind of get them in there between, start prying carefully, get that bottom tagged out a little bit because it seems to hang for this car kind of there on that lower passenger side. One end of it out. Come on out of there. And there you go. So you got your 2 harnesses right here, little spring load. Pull them babies out. This one kind of fell in there. This one's going to be stubborn on us today. There we go. Alright, we'll show you that on the bench. As you notice, this car's got the red filaments in it because the dash lights up red. There's others that are green, etc. So we'll show you a close-up of this in just a minute. Alright, so here's the side of the center console vent. We're looking at the passenger side, and your harnesses come in from the top back here and up here. They're kind of a pain in the neck to get these things out. I'm just going to use a pocket knife because it's sitting here. You'll notice when you look inside this little L-shaped hole towards the bottom, there's a little notch you can see into the bulb itself. So just kind of pop, and out it comes. There's your bulb. Okay. Alright, so here you have the LED assembly I made. You have one of the cut down bulbs, and you have one that I just popped out. So you can see I've got plenty of clearance here, and I kind of want this tip of this LED to hit down, or to stick out about as far as that bulb, just to keep it close to the optic that's built into the vent assembly. That optic, in this car, it's going to be a red one. You can see it come down right in here, and it comes up underneath here. You can see just a little bit. All comes into this housing where the bulb slides in. It's one big continuous loop that goes to both. So when the bulb illuminates here, the light is stopped here, but it travels along this plastic, and that's what you end up seeing out here on the dash, illuminating when you've got the headlights on. So that's why we use white LEDs, and we'll go ahead and get one of these together. Get it heat shrinked. What I'm going to do is use two different sizes of heat shrink. First thing I'm going to do is put a smaller diameter one around the leg once I've got it trimmed with the resistor on it. And then I'm going to take a little bit larger diameter white heat shrink tubing and put it around the whole thing. So that'll insulate the interior resistor lead, which is the anode. And then we'll take the larger diameter and just wrap the whole thing up so it can't short in on anything inside the body. I think it's all plastic, but better safe than sorry. Do it right the first time, right? Wanted to make a little note about these bulbs. As you probably know, diodes, these light emitting diodes, the LEDs we're putting in, they only turn on in one direction of power, so if you hook them up backwards they won't light up. So I wanted to make a point of making reference to why we put the resistors on the longer of the two legs. That's the anode. That's basically the plus side of the LED. Now when you're looking at these, I've got a unmodified bulb here for reference, but the way we're looking at them is the notch that sticks out right here at the tip of the blade is up, and there's some molding with some lettering and some words inside this piece of the bulb here. To read it, you read the harness side outwards, bulb side towards you, and then you can read it across the right way. So when you're looking at these two tabs, when you solder, the left tab here at the tip of the blade is your negative. That's going to be the leg of the LED that doesn't have anything on it. The tab here at the end of the blade is your positive side from the wiring harness. So I'm putting this in here so you have references to which way to hook these LEDs up. Resistor side of the LED, the anode, will go to the right side tab as you're reading the stamp on the bulb housing with this little lock tab upwards that you can see it. Alright, here's a comparison. We've got one of the LEDs mounted next to an unmodified bulb. It's a little bit shorter. I don't think it's going to make a big difference at all. I waited for the white heat shrink till after I soldered the two legs on, and then just slid it over the top and shrunk it down on the whole assembly. So we'll go ahead and get the rest of them done, get them mounted into the housing, and we'll hook them back into the car and let you see how that works. Still daytime out, kind of bright, no tent on the car, so we'll probably pull the car into the garage and shut the door behind us. That way you can get an idea how well they light up. Okay, one more thing I forgot to mention. You want to take some sandpaper or a little diamond file or something, and you want to etch the entire outside of that lens for better light distribution. LEDs point their light in one direction, so as you can see, this one's very clear. This one's nice and frosted now. If you can find frosted white LEDs, that will work even better, but they're real simple. You just take some real fine sandpaper, or a little diamond file, steal one from your mom if she's doing her nails, or from your girlfriend's mom, and go ahead and just rough it up a bit.